Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning, how are you? I want to pop on real quick. Actually, I really need an hour to talk about whatever I need to talk about. But this have been really on my heart, um, in the dating game, because that's what I call it. It's a game. In relationships, is if you scratch my back, then I scratch yours. That's what I'm finding out in the dating game. So it's really difficult out here now, and a lot of things have changed since I've been out, trying to date now. And I have found out that it's for comfort. The love has went out the door. When I was dating way back when in the 80s, and I fell in love and got married, that was true love back then. But now it done changed. It's like the guys have really changed. It's like, okay, what can you bring to the table? Can you meet my needs? It's all about them. The most of the guys that I have ran across, and because I'm the type that asks a lot of questions, and I'm not gonna put myself out on a limb just to please somebody else. I've been there, done that, and I'm not going to do it again, because I feel like if you're in the dating game and you say you want to get married and you want to meet someone, okay, meet me in the middle. But as I talk to people who are in the dating game and who are in relationships, they always compromise. They bend over backwards. They do 80% while the other one do 20%. And so I was talking to some people yesterday in a group session, and I realized that the younger generation is really compromising and just going overboard. Um, I had one person in the session says, they do everything. They do everything, and they work as well. But the other person that sit back and they work and they come home and they just relax, while the other one is just wore out and doing everything. And I'm like, golly, how long you been doing this? Over 12 years. Over 12 years. I said, okay, so you never did straighten that situation out. When you met this person, you just wanted to be, it sounded like you just wanted to be with somebody and you just didn't want to be alone. That's what it sounded like to me. And this person said, well, pretty much you're right. I didn't want to be alone. I was afraid of growing old. And I look back and I hear these same conversations over and over every single day. They're afraid to grow old. They're afraid to be alone. They're afraid that they'll never have a companionship or never meet the right person. So they begin to settle. They began to settle for less. They began to be unhappy and just, go with the flow, go with the pains, and just began to overlook a lot of warning signs. And once the session was over, I'm like, I have been there, because I can remember when I was in a toxic relationship down through the years, from my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, even my 50s, And I had got to a point when I got my divorce. No more. No more. If you cannot meet me in the middle, you cannot be honest with me and very transparent, then we cannot move forward. You know, I'm not a selfish person, but the guys that I had talked to try to collect data from them, because I'm a person that asks a lot of questions. And some of them get upset why all the questions, you know. And it's not like when I first started checking them out, you know, dating, and they reach out to me. It's not like I'm boom, 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 but it's gradually collecting the data and getting to know them. And a lot of guys do not like, you know, women asking them questions. It's hilarious to me, because you have to answer questions, you have to ask questions in order to get to know each other. And most of them just point blank come out and say what they want, you know. And they feel like intimacy, because I define intimacy in different terms, but they are really talking about going straight to the point. Inti- Intimacy to me is holding hands, you know, going out to a nice dinner, laughter, you know. It doesn't have to always be sex, but in most of the guys' minds that I have tried to date, you know, it was just point blank, straight to the point. And I'm like, no, no, I'm not doing that. No, that was in my 20s, you know. That was when I was 18, 19, 20, when I didn't know any better. But now I'm mature, you know. And I'm like, no, you're 60, you're 50 something, and you're talking about, you know, going straight to bed. It's not about that, you know. As people in general, think about your relationship and what kind of relationship you want. You know, you don't have to settle for anything. And I realize a lot of people are settling for anything, including my age. I'm 61, and I have friends that I talk to. You know, some of them are settling for anything just to have a relationship, and they talking about time is ticking, and they don't want to grow old, or they don't want to die old, they don't want to be lonely, the same thing that the younger generation is talking about. And I'm like, no, I think I'll be like my mother, because I would not settle. I would not settle for anything less. And I think I'll be just like my mother. I think I would go out of here, you know, dying by myself, and that's perfectly okay with me. Because one thing I look at it when I listen in these sessions and everything of people in relationship and the problems that they go through and they face. And I was in a marriage for almost 30 years, and I'm like, do I really want to go back through this? And I have to ask myself that. I have to really think about, do I really want to go through all of this? And life can be more simple and easy, just to get the things that I need and come home to a nice dinner, fix myself a nice dinner like I did yesterday, and just relax. No chaos, no compromising, no kind of stress that's put on me. And I'm like, when I listen to some of this stuff that's going on today in relationships, I'm not sure if I really want to go through that or not. So one of the guys that I was dating, he was like, you know, I'm putting myself first, da 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 da. And if anybody don't like it, you know, I'm doing me. I'm putting myself first. And he sound like a selfish pig, point blank. He didn't think about, you know, building a relationship. It was all about him and putting himself first. Well, I get that, but if you're coming into a relationship, me, 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 I, what does that say? That's a red flag to me. You know, if you're saying that you want to meet someone and one day maybe get married, you got to remove the means and eyes. You know, well, maybe we can work toward this or that. Maybe we can, figure out and come up with a plan about this or that. But don't go into a relationship talking about me, 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 me. I know how to gauge and get what I want. So most of the time when I hear all these red flags, I just go on and block and delete and tell them this is not working out. I do not waste my time on a conversation like that. I tell them straight up, this is not working out. This is not for me. And I don't want to waste my time and energy on a person like you. So good riddance. Have a great day and bye. So I'm just straight to the point because I'm in my 60s. I don't have time for these games. I'm looking for, well, I'm not looking, but when they reach out to me, I tell them what I want in a man and what I expect. And I ask them the same questions. What are you looking for? What do you expect out of me? What do you want this, where do you want this relationship to go to? Da, 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 da. So I began to ask the most important questions. And when they come to me, in a right way, in a respectful way, then we can either move forward in our relationship, or we can just end it right there as friends, or sometimes we just end it and say, well, it was nice talking to you, blase, blase, and that's it. And it's no hard feelings, but be honest. Be honest. And don't go into a relationship just with your hands out and just want one thing, or just want their money, or just want sex. That is so childish, immature. So be mature. Be mature and be responsible for your actions. Most of us, are dating, are older now, you know, and they saying the same thing that others are saying. So shame on you. Be mature and hold up to your responsibilities. So that's all I have to say right now. But like I said, this can be an hour conversation, but we may pick it up and we may not. Y'all let me know. All right. See you later. Don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget to like me and follow me. Y'all have a great day. Bye.